Hey, I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching, thank you for tuning in. And if you're returning, thank you for returning. Yes, I am in my robe and my do-rag. Don't mind me. I just got back from the gym and I just showered and stuff, so I'm chilling. But it was time for me to make my video, so I am back. And so I'm about to go in my notes right now because I had something that I took notes on from something that I was reading recently. And yeah, I'm gonna jump in from there. I really had a good set of off days recently. Like, I went to Barnes and Noble. I binged on books. Like, I've been really big on trying to do stuff that younger Ashley enjoyed, and I definitely was always a reader. You definitely get a lot from reading. So, yeah, I said it to say I spent, I'm not even gonna say what I spent. I definitely racked up on books, and I'm happy about that because I have a lot of things to feed my mind. And I'm excited about that. So I was thinking about making a segment about the books that I'm reading because maybe some of you may be interested in the books that I'm reading. Maybe some of you have read them already. Maybe it would inspire you to go get some books because we all should be reading. I know some people say they hate reading and stuff like that, and it's kind of cringe when people say that. I get it. Like, I'm not being like judgy. It's just more so that we have to read. Like, there's certain things in life that we just girl, I am ashy. I'm ashy. That is correct. Don't judge me. I am ashy. Anyways, like I told you, I just came out the shower. I'm clean, so whatever. But yeah, we all should be reading. I know people don't always enjoy reading. I know people have their different reasons why they don't want to read, but honestly, we should all be feeding our mind, and it shouldn't just be based on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, like, or fake news on TV. Like, we should literally be feeding our mind with reading. Those are also brain exercises. The truth is, if you don't use it, you lose it. We need to use it because we need it. We need our mind forever. So I just wanted to put that out there. And today's video is about self-mastery, being for yourself. Now, this was inspired by something I did see on TikTok, and I saw a woman talking about self-mastery and women, and I won't even go into who the TikToker was, but I did take a good tidbit from her about self-mastery, being for yourself. And I completely agree. I think sometimes we're looking for that instant, I'm not even going to just say instant gratification, but that acknowledgement from other people about the things that we're working on for ourselves. And if you're doing things for yourself, like you're working on yourself for yourself, what other people acknowledge that you're doing or not doing really should not matter. I know it's hard sometimes, and I speak to this for myself. Like, I've changed so much over the years, and when people who are close to me act like they don't see it or don't acknowledge it, it does trigger me because I am clear in my head about certain things that I would have handled completely different times ago. And like, it took work, it took effort. Like, it took me having some self-awareness and acknowledging that the way I was operating probably wasn't the best, and I wanted to make a change. But for people around me to not acknowledge it, it's triggering, it hurts, it's upsetting, it makes me angry. But the reality is, again, self-mastery is for self. So we have to take away, and I'm talking about consciously, like, we have to consciously remove that expectation of people acknowledging the work that we're doing on ourselves, because it's not for them. It's not for them. And as much as you love people, as much as you talk to people, you don't know where they are on their journey. Because a lot of things that people can say out of their mouth does not truly reflect what's on the inside. And a lot of times we have the expectation that that is truth with people, meaning we expect people to speak who they are directly and it be truth. But the reality is that isn't always the case. Like, people will tell you what they think sounds good. People aren't always willing to acknowledge that they're not on a certain part of their self-love, self-care, self-development journey. Sometimes people think that they are on a certain part of their self-love, self-care, self-development journey, and the reality is they're probably several steps behind that. And I don't say that in a judgy way. I say that in a way that it takes growth and experience for you to realize where you are on your journey. A lot of times you think you're in a spot that you're not in, and so on. It changes. It's just a lot. It's a lot. But the reality is we can't count on other people to acknowledge what we're doing for ourselves. because it is literally for us. When we are dependent on other people acknowledging what we're doing, it kind of negates or takes away from the things we're doing on our journey. Because you're taking that time that's supposed to be invested in you and putting it on other people. You have to take that time for yourself and acknowledge the work that you've done for yourself. When you see that you handled a situation that you would have handled differently X amount of time ago, that's your time to give yourself that gold star. That's your time to give yourself that pat on the back. Stop waiting on other people to acknowledge it. And I'm not saying you're wrong for hoping certain people acknowledge it at all. But what I am saying is, if you grow to understand that self-mastery is for self, then you won't be as disappointed when other people don't see it or don't acknowledge it. Because a lot of times, and this, don't let this go over your head, right? A lot of times, people can only see from the space that they're operating from. You could make a million changes, but because someone may not be working on themselves in the same capacity, because someone may not be experiencing the things that you're experiencing, they may not even understand what they're witnessing when they witness you. It may take them more time to acknowledge the work that you've done. It doesn't mean that you didn't do the work, and it doesn't mean that you don't deserve that acknowledgement from yourself. You have to show up for you in that sense. And I'm not saying it's easy at all, because we deserve community. We need community. You know, we're social beings. But at the same time, as much as we desire things from the people around us, we cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? We can't force them to give us what we need sometimes. But what you can do is acknowledge the need that you're looking for and give it to yourself. See, a lot of times we like to invalidate what we give to ourselves. And I don't know why we do that. Like, you are a person too. You are a person, and you get to give everything to this person. There's no one that you'll ever be closer to, better understand, be more intimate with than yourself. You occupy this vessel. This is every part of your being, mind, body, spirit, right? So it's important that we don't take away from the things that we do for ourselves because we don't count that, because it's not a person outside of ourselves. Don't let that go over your head, okay? And again, like I always say, if this is something that triggers a thought in you, triggers some kind of inspiration, journal on it, meditate on it, journal on it, really explore how you feel when you're introduced to this idea of self-mastery, being for self, and not needing or wanting and expecting people to acknowledge what you've done for yourself to develop yourself or not. How does that make you feel? Are you in a space where you feel like you've worked so hard on yourself and the people closest to you don't acknowledge it? If that is the case for those people, how does that make you feel? I think it's important to journal on that, because a lot of times we have all these ideas in our head and it takes up space and it carries energy and it actually weighs down on us. And for the people that don't feel like they're looking for external validation from other people for the work for themselves, are you still acknowledging that self-mastery is for you? And when I say that, I mean, don't just sit here and master yourself, women, because you're looking for a partner, right? Because some women might get up and go to the gym because they feel like that body that they want will get them the kind of man that they want. It's about you. Don't just master yourself and go after that best job because you feel like you want to be acknowledged by people in your life for being a high earner or a career girly. Like, really do these things for yourself. Because I promise you, if you're doing those things with those intentions, it will never fulfill you because you were pursuing them for the wrong reasons. We can't skip over the gems in the process. There are so many things that we're supposed to pick up in the process. We are so busy sometimes just trying to prove ourselves to people, and it takes away everything from the process. If your self-mastery journey is literally about proving yourself to other people, you will never know peace. You will never know joy. You will never really feel accomplished and content on your journey if you're constantly seeking the validation of other people. Because again, it is for self. It is for self, and the person, the being that can give you the most acknowledgement, of course, yourself, because you know everything that you put in, you know everything you've gone through, you know everything you've sacrificed. But as I will always say, God is the entity that will validate you. God will let you know when you're doing the right thing. God will let you know to keep going. God will give you that pat on the back. Ask God. Ask God. When you feel like the community around you is not giving you the acknowledgement, when you've been working on yourself so hard and you've made difficult changes and you feel like you finally reached a place that you weren't in before, ask God. God will let you know with no problem. And a lot of times God is so speedy. We ask God something and you might look up on a billboard while you're driving and you'll see something that literally answers the question that you just asked. So I encourage you guys to also do that. I felt really inspired when I saw this content creator say that self-mastery is for self. And it's a simple statement, but it meant so much. It really connected a lot of dots in my head, because a lot of times we have an urge to pursue something. We have an urge to act on different parts of our journey, but we don't always realize why we're doing it, or we may not consciously acknowledge why we're doing it. And the fruit of your labor can only be harvested, and harvested with real value, meaning put to use, utilized, right? Bared, if it's coming from the right place. Because we could do a lot of things coming from the wrong place, and the outcomes of that will never be what we're looking for. It will never give us true fulfillment. So I hope this really resonated with someone. It resonated with me. That's why I'm sharing. Like I said, I felt inspired because I'm like, wow, yeah, it's for me. Like this part of the journey is for me. I have to do this for myself. It does not matter who acknowledges it. It does not matter who accepts it. It does not matter who understands it. It's about me. It's about God. It's about connecting to my higher self. So again, I hope this resonated with someone. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.